Let's start with African film as our theme in the first hour. Filmmakers on the African continent have faced challenges when attempting to collaborate with international streaming platforms, right? The high pitch for quality of production, the approval and content requirements, also the narratives as well, that are sometimes not the ones that African filmmakers want to tell, can make it very difficult to create those synergies. Meanwhile, streaming giants have started reducing commissioning of new originals in Africa due to profitability and market constraints. But new creators from the African continent are saying, no, we're not stopping there. We're not going to be determined by you how we accelerate the film industry on the African continent. In fact, we're going to use the tools that are accessible for us. And what's happening is that YouTube is becoming a primary distribution channel due to shrinking traditional distribution avenues and limited infrastructure. I want to speak about this, the idea of filmmakers using YouTube as a key distributing channel. Davidson Mugume is joining us, a renowned film maker from Uganda, director, writer, and also is the founder of the Matatu Film Stage, and we'll speak about that a little bit later on. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. This is such an interesting trend story. Welcome here on The Move, Davidson.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about the main challenge, Davidson, in terms of getting things distributed. Because I think we have the creativity, we've got an industry. Someone would say maybe we might be struggling with infrastructure somewhere, somehow, but definitely there is talent on the African continent. What is stirring this new direction where filmmakers are like, you know what, we'll use the tools that we have, and it seems like YouTube is the main thing now?
Yes, you said it so well there when you said infrastructure, and that is the biggest setback we have. The creativity is there, the passion is there, but without the infrastructure to have their work distributed and giving that certification to potential investors that they'll get their money back, then there's revenue that comes into the industry. So that puts this bottleneck where it holds us back as creatives. And I'm happy to see that with the emerging technologies, and right now, even in Uganda, the number of youths who are buying smartphones and internet, readily accessible internet all over the country is growing tremendously, and Africa as a continent. So now, for any creative, it's a given. You're like, okay, I can just create a channel for free on YouTube, my work there. So that's the way to go.
Davidson, a lot has changed in the film industry all across the world. I mean, if you look at the evolution of it, there was once a time where, going to the cinema was quite popular. That was obviously taken away by the COVID-19 pandemic. There was also a time where distribution on DVD and VHS was so popular that any filmmaker, especially on the African continent, could put out their film. It was on DVD and it could be sold and resold over and over again. And then streaming platforms obviously have become the big thing now. But because of these international streaming platforms, there's a lot of hoops to go through. Just yesterday, I was actually watching a film by a South African filmmaker who's put down a series called Shut Up, Men Are Talking on YouTube. And I think it's been quite interesting because I saw it trending on TikTok and I'm like, I have to go and watch this. How have African filmmakers really used social media to their disposal when they realize that they have challenges being sort of set aside on these international streaming platforms?
I think that is one of the things that us as filmmakers, we had nothing to do but to go with that, because I'll use an example. I was in Rwanda for a festival and there was a category for web series. And also one of the premier, we have been in a festival this whole week, Matatu Film Stage Festival. And yesterday we premiered one of our projects called Enolavu, which the director and the producer, when we're putting it together, it was made in a web series format. So the whole project adds up to a feature film length. But at the end of the day, during the filming, it's also cut into 10 episodes. so that anyone can watch it on YouTube, anyone can watch it online. I think this is adaptability, and it's the way to go. If you notice the trends of information, you say something really important there, Palesa, of the history of film. Back then was cinema, and then came from the theater, got into TV and digital, VHS and everything. And if you notice that back then information, we're right now in a world of information. And back in the day, if you're making a premiere like Alfred Hitchcock, it would take him a year to 2 years just to prepare for a film. And during that whole time, people are waiting. There's anticipation. The marketing is going well, and the budgets were low. These days, information is so on the nose that things are changing every day. And because of that consistent change, structures like back in the day of distribution and broadcasters insisting on a specific, you have to have a specific target margin. What is your audience model? So right now, because the internet is vast, it gives the creatives an opportunity to focus on a niche, a specific market, and create products for that market. So because of that, the African community that has also been held back prior because of the limited resources and Netflix coming in Africa and slowing down a bit because the numbers were not showing up, now begin to be like, okay, if that is not happening, the structure, the traditional structure is not happening, then why don't I veer off and go into this? And started as influencers, but now creatives are also using that space.
Sure. The big question is here, look, you guys are investing so much in creating all these films, but are you making the money out of it?
That's the big question. And for the most part, the films that we've been making have been grants funded from usually partnerships with Western companies. But what has been changing now and why YouTube is an important concept is you're noticing that because of that opportunity to get to the market, because there's already a platform where sponsors can come on board, monetize. For example, YouTube monetizing your channel, and people already coming on board and be like, okay, there's consistency in this channel. They'll always give us good work. It's easy for us to go into that space because now initially we were struggling to make our money back because of the limited infrastructure. We couldn't make our money back as easy as we could. But now because of this opportunity, YouTube is going to monetize your channel. Ads are going to be playing. That means extra revenue on your side. So the only thing is for you to bring out the creativity you need. You have to engage your audience. And the moment you have an idea of what your audience is looking for, and you can sense, okay, what is my market? I think also for creatives, this is something to look at. I like what you just said of, what did you call that series that went out of, this is a man's space, let the men talk.
It's a series that South African filmmaker Chris Q Radebe has put out on his YouTube channel called Shut Up, Men Are Talking.
Yes, so you can hear that already. It's cutting off a very big chunk of the market, but the audience. But for him, he's looking for a specific audience. And that's, you have to know what your audience is looking for. And the moment you're honest with that and you give them what they really want, you're good. You'll get the money back.
All right, Davidson, let's take a bit of a break and we'll come back to some of the conversations around this. The big question as well is, does it help, cutting that distribution weight, especially when it comes to the demands of some of these streaming platforms, to say, you know what, we want to also control our narrative. In fact, some of the quality of production is not even necessary for the kind of stories we want to tell here on the African continent. We'll unpack a little bit more about this fascinating trend. Stay with us right here on Channel Africa.
Step into the heart of the day on the move with Palesa and Benjamin.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalam, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800-428-428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
No time to waste. Be on the move with Benjamin Moshatama and Palesa.
That's certainly an interesting conversation indeed. African filmmakers are looking to social media platforms like YouTube to distribute their films because there is a lot of saturation now with streaming platforms, and there need to be new avenues that are being pursued to get those films out there. And we're talking about that this morning with Davidson Mugume, who is a renowned Ugandan filmmaker, director, writer, and producer, also the founder of the Matatu Film Stage. And we continue this conversation with him. I want to bring it back to the last conversation and the last question that Benjamin had in terms of monetization. YouTube is something that people have seen, like, content creators or influencers have seen as a way to vlog and to bring in a little bit of income. But I don't know if YouTube is a way to actually make as much money as big films had in the past. And these days, everything, because of digitization, the audiences, African audiences, international audiences, expect really good quality when it comes to filmmaking, in terms of the production, in terms of the writing, in terms of the actors and actresses, and also just the overall quality of the film itself. Is there more investment when it comes to the quality of the film? And is there going to be a return on that investment through this new social media avenues that filmmakers are taking, Davidson?
The return on investment with this avenue, I see there is promise. Definitely going back to there's something that the foundation used to give us, like that original structure of going to a distributor, going through producers and everything. It was helping us actually get talent and helping us identify, okay, what's the new thing? And they really, when it's done well, it really helps us get really good film. But this avenue, now it's giving everyone an opportunity to tell a story. But the moment TikTok came in place and everyone can film themselves and edit themselves, apps like CapCut came in to help people edit on their phones. Right now, the creativity is vast. The pool has expanded. It's no longer a gated industry, and that has opened up the gates for so much. So there's a little bit of concern at some point of the narrative, what narrative and how film is being done. Of course, standards are important, but I still see, at the end of the day, chaos is a good place to start if you want. Right now, the world is changing every day. And this is one of those things that we are catching up with technology. And Africa, as filmmakers in Africa, for me, I see this as an opportunity to explore, but at the same time, also, we may not be able to hit the quality like companies from Hollywood are putting out. But as long as we have the story being told, for me, the thing, we have to tell our stories, and the quality may not be as the same. Standards might go low a bit, but at the end of the day, with more monetization and more revenue coming in, I'm optimistic that value will come in. And also companies will also see interest because the traffic is promising.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about the new pathway that's been created here, and the possibility that, it also creates a sense of independence for the filmmakers or those even collaborating in that film production experience, right? You own your own production, but also you can also leverage on how you distribute it. That element of IP and ownership, do you think it's also another influence here on why many filmmakers are taking this direction?
Definitely. The signing of a contract, and you see film is like for an artist, when you work on a project, it becomes part of you. You live it, breathe it, dream it. you cry, you stress about so many things to make it work. The frustration of back and forth, a team to make this project work is, you need, it takes a village to make a film. But after all that sweat, seeing this project being taken, it breaks your heart. Also, the vision that you have sometimes as a creative is, as a director or producer, it's hard, it breaks you to see your film not hitting the level it could have, or the quality of distribution. So this is an opportunity actually to help with good revenue. A good director can actually put out a very good project. We'll use an example of our big directors in Uganda, Lukman Ali, who made a film that later on went on Netflix, The Girl in the Yellow Jumper. There's one of the ways he put his work out there was to use a YouTube, whereby he would make a film and put it on YouTube, and the returns, the numbers are looking good. And from there, he put the brand out. He put his brand out, and now he's one of our biggest directors in Uganda. Wow. And so there are platforms you can use, but also for me, I know that you can own your rights. You can own the good thing right now. We're entering a world of royalties, of whereby you're going to earn from this project for a very long time. And as a filmmaker, you have to retire well. We invest a lot of time. Projects take years to actually get out. And after all those years, it's worth it to know that even after 15 to 25 years, you can still earn a coin from this project. So that creates a very good foundation. And also as an artist, an industry, it gives us an opportunity to earn from our craft, because most filmmakers we still push through passion. We still work in industries, in positions where we don't earn from this. So having a platform where you can film something and know that 15 years from now, you're still on the rights to that and protect it, so that anyone who gets it from your channel and plays it or try to make money from it, flags are going to come up. Those are good things to protect us. And
I love it. And I think it's also beautiful for young and upcoming filmmakers to see, how you guys are evolutionizing the film industry here in Africa. So they know that they don't have to rely on international platforms, that they can actually go out there and be competitive internationally by releasing their own films and investing in themselves. But before we go, Davidson, let's chat a little bit about the Matatu film stage. Tell us about that. What is it? When will it be? And how are you interacting with that particular environment?
Wow. Matatu. That's the Matatu film stage right now. We're in our third edition. We started on the 4th of this month, and today is our last screenings. We had over 27 short films from across Africa.
Wow.
We specifically looked for bold African stories that are challenging the narrative and focusing on telling our story. And what we've done is put them in cinema, not only in theater. We have at Arena Mall, Acacia Cinema. We had the high end where people can come and watch these films for a whole week. But we also had workshops throughout the week where we had creatives, including some of our industry bigwigs, came through and had amazing workshops. Even today we have some workshops. But at the same time also, we wanted to have film exhibited in alternative spaces. So we've been showcasing films in the local cinemas, in the city, and we're planning to do that. So what is the vision? The vision is to make sure that we do not only showcase this is just the beginning. Matatu Film Stage is a biannual festival that not only screens in Uganda, but we're going to go to Nairobi, we're going to go to Accra, we're going to go to Kigali, we're going to Dar es Salaam. Also in March, we're going to the UK. What we're doing is bold. We have to be bold and put our films in places where the community will come through. And definitely that we need to, collaboration is important for us. And we have had tremendous support from the community, the Ugandan community. Over 60% have access, like in cinemas. Every screening, we have over 50% turnout, which is amazing. Most
Absolutely.
especially for us, what we do with Matatu, we make sure that people pay. Most festivals are for free. For us, even in the local cinema, you'll pay at least a coin or two to create that consistency of when I'm coming to watch film, even if it's African film, I will pay for it.
I love that.
So that's one thing I'm getting.
We have to leave it there, Davidson. We run out of time. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us. Sounds like there's a lot of hope for the African film industry and for African filmmakers. We appreciate you chatting to us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Benjamin, and thank you so much, Palesa.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. That's renowned Ugandan filmmaker, director, writer and producer Davidson Mugume, also the founder of the Matatu Film Stage.